Hey, it's John Jack, and I want to teach you about a dish that I absolutely adore, pasta alla matriciana. If you are Italian or you've had this dish before, you'll notice some changes. Let's call it pasta al natriciana, and during the video I will point out how my dish deviates from the traditional. We're going to start with half a pack of bacon, about 6 ounces. Chop the bacon into 2-inch size pieces. Then we want to cook it over a low heat, render out the fat, crisp it up, keep stirring occasionally. Traditionally, you would use guanciale, which is kind of like bacon made from the chin. Now let's take 2 ribs of celery. To prepare the celery, we're going to cut lengthwise down each celery rib 4 times. This is our second break from the traditional recipe, which would call for onion. But if you're one of the people like my wife who have a really hard time digesting onions, or if you just want to try something a little different, then celery is a great alternative and adds a really good flavor to the sauce. I've chopped my celery down into a nice medium-sized dice, very easily accomplished because I first cut my ribs into strips. While prepping our celery, our bacon has finished cooking. Fat's rendered out and it's nice and crispy. We're gonna lay it out onto a paper towel, save the fat in the pan. We're going to reuse that. It should remain very crispy and very safe. Just keep an eye out for bacon bandits. Let's fill up a pot of water for our pasta, knowing that our bacon is safe. And what the... I have stumbled upon a bacon heist. We have severely reprimanded the guilty parties. Remember I told you to save the bacon fat? We'll put our celery right into it, get a nice low heat saute going. We're not looking to really brown the celery. We just want to sweat it out in the bacon fat, creating a lot of depth of flavor. If you have too much bacon fat in the pan, as I did here, take out some, a spoonful at a time, very carefully, until you have about 2 tablespoons of bacon fat left with the celery in the pan. And it's time for the glorious entry of the tomato. We're going to use 1 whole can of whole tomatoes, and we're going to just hand crush those tomatoes into our sauce. Now you might ask, why hand crush the tomatoes? I like to get really intimate with my food, and I find the hand crush leaves a really nice textural component to the sauce. Now let's add 1.5 teaspoons of crushed red pepper flakes and 1 teaspoon of finely ground black pepper. Now let's cause quite a stir by mixing our ingredients together. We want to get it all nice and incorporated. It looks really luscious and really yummy. We'll add 2 more breaks from tradition. Half a cup of dry red wine. Could be a Pinot, you could use a Cabernet or a Merlot, whatever you got. And then we want to add some chicken stock. I'm using some homemade chicken stock. I make chicken stock regularly. I love it. We're not throwing any shade at store-bought stock. If that's what you have, go ahead and use it. Go ahead and give it a taste. The flavors are going to continue to develop. Keep it on a low heat, simmering and stirring occasionally. Let it reduce, but don't let it burn. Shifting focus to our pasta, let's heavily salt our water. We have some gluten-free rotini. Set a timer for 1 or 2 minutes, less than what the box says, because later we add the pasta to the sauce and it'll finish cooking in there. Now that our pasta's on, it's the perfect time to go check on our sauce, give it a stir, make sure that it's reducing nicely. After your pasta's been cooking for a few minutes, take out 3 tablespoons of the liquid from the pasta and add it to your sauce. This crucial step helps marry the flavor between pasta and sauce. Our timer has gone off. We're gonna taste the pasta. Hopefully it's just slightly underdone. Drain it and just leave it in the colander while we finish up our sauce. Yet another break from tradition. Fresh oregano from the store usually costs only $1 or $2 for a package. Take only the leaves from 2 or 3 sprigs of oregano and let's go to the land of the chop. Oh baby, I love the smell of fresh oregano. Oregano pairs so well with tomatoes. I can't wait to get this into our sauce, slide it in. We're adding the oregano late in the stage of the cooking process because we want to maintain some of that freshness but still give it a few minutes to marry into the sauce. Do you want to know why food tastes so good in restaurants? Take 2 tablespoons of butter and stir it into your sauce. Oh, and now it's time to add our pasta into the sauce. Give it a lot of good stirs. Make sure every single noodle is nicely coated with that rich, creamy, buttery tomato sauce that you've made. At this point, you'll have a near irresistible desire to crawl into the sauce with your pasta. Don't do that. Instead, take half of that crispy bacon and slowly, gently fold it into your pasta. You need to be gentle because you do not want to bust up your pasta. Give it a taste, and it should taste perfect. If not, add a little bit of salt. Now let's prep one more optional but delicious ingredient, 2 basil leaves, roll them up very tightly, and then come in and slice. It's called a chiffonade. You want to end up with nice little ribbony pieces of basil. We're gonna set aside those gorgeous ribbons of basil, and later we're gonna make it rain. Okay, it's time to plate. Let's get a couple bowls, and we're gonna spoon in carefully our pasta into both bowls. I'm gonna take some fresh Parmigiano Reggiano, microplane it into the pasta bowl, and let's make it rain. Basil, 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 I love you. Now let's add some crispy bacon on top of it to finish it off. We have the bacon in the sauce, we have the crispy bacon on top, and there you go. It only took us about 30 minutes from start to finish, including prep, and oh baby, I need you in my life. Okay, snap out of it. Where was I? Oh yes, that's pasta al matriciana. Thank you for watching. I'm John Jack, and I hope you eat something good today.